We are joined by Andre Hodge. Andre, you there?
Yes, I am, mate. How are you?
I'm doing good today. So how are things going with you?
Yeah, excellent. And you've had fantastic callers. They've all been interesting again.
Anything reach out from the callers that's helped you?
Lots of things. And even that lady with the pet, she sounded wonderful. And I've actually got a very close friend in that meditation group who has these two amazing animals. And I'm going to get her to listen to that because it just totally resonated with me, totally, with her. So the purpose of my calling, I've actually started really amassing some really good questions for you. And I'd love to put a couple across. I'm not really ready for them all, but you did touch on something, and that was the infinite dream world uniting the finite world. And I think that's really hitting me at the moment. I'd love you to go pretty deep on that. I mean, I think it needs to be explored a bit more.
All right, yeah, that's a good one to work with. Let's describe it like this. When I function in the dream world, I create anchors for myself. I've owned enough of my power to say that when I'm dreaming, I can have more than one dream program going at the same time. The infinite is literally the infinite, and you can create programs through intent the same way you would program a crystal. And when you've owned your power, you can create these multiple layers. The first layer is I go to the North Pole where the Aurora Borealis is, and that is the physical location of the energetic dream world inside the streamers of the Aurora Borealis. And on the South Pole is where the astral world is, where the young spirits that are in the incarnation grid come into this world. And they can jump from the South Pole to the North Pole and experience dream worlds with you. At the same time, my physical body is grounded into the Earth Mother so that my physical body is charged in a zone of trust. And then I can create layers off-world or on-world. And when I begin to create these layers or function with different Dreamtime societies, I am using bits of myself that are searching for pieces of information or creating a classroom scenario. And I've said this before, there are times that, this talky dreams, what it is you're in a classroom. And when I teach these classes in Dreamtime, there's, hundreds, if not thousands of people in it. But at the same time, I'm also individually tutoring each person that's in the class at the same time the class is going on. And to experience the dream world that way means I've owned my purpose in this life. I've taken it to the newest level. In the infinite dream world is about owning your power and expressing it to your awakened self, so your asleep self is owning the power at the same time. Do you have any questions about that? Would you like to expand any further?
Yeah, no, that's great. Obviously you've mastered that, right? And a lot of people probably haven't even explored it yet. Do you have any suggestions as to how people can catalyze that in their lives? Including me, of course. Yeah.
The first thing that you do when you're trying to claim power in your dream world is to tell yourself before you go to sleep in a mantra or repetitive format that I want to expand my understanding of the dream time so I may go through the process of owning my power. And then give it as many words as you can, and when you lay down to fall asleep, you roll over on your side and you just fall asleep. But as soon as you wake up, that is when the auto-programming kicks in, your autopilot. And you have a very limited amount of time to challenge the autopilot to turn it off so you can stay in the infinite dream world and lucid dream. People always say that they have an alarm that goes off, they hit the alarm, and they go right back into their dream. The same thing applies every day. Even if you don't wake up to an alarm clock, you can wake up, tell your autopilot no, and go back into the dream world and then ask questions. Where does my power come from? Who are my Dreamtime guides? When you begin to become aware of them in a circle of trust inside your lucid dreaming where fear doesn't put you back into the awakened body, that is where you'll be able to amass Dreamtime energy in your lower intestines. So the next night you go to dream, you have all this extra stored energy, quite literally in your lower intestines, which is where your dreaming body is stored when you're awake.
Very interesting. like personally, I record a lot of the readings, like with Rose and stuff. But I think I could probably use that to record the intent and maybe listen it over and over.
Oh yeah,
other people could as well. Yeah.
You know, something else is when that few moments before you go to sleep, that's when you get to tell the autopilot new rules. Also, this is thinking multidimensionally, thinking to the future person that's waking up and dreaming at the same time. That's why the words of intent are so important before you go to sleep, because we're stuck in a three-dimensional program. When we go to sleep, our bodies are still part of the three-dimensional program, and our dreaming bodies still has links to it. And to create other dream worlds and to be a part of them means you have to recall some of your energy before you go to dream and before you wake up. So you're separating yourself from time with these intent so that there's a bigger space between the infinite and finite hourglass process that goes on when you wake up.
So, like the dream time with Aboriginals and many of the native sort of tribes around the world, like where do they exist in that state all the time?
Yes.
Because myself, I feel like I'm letting go of the, the awakened state and sort of in a meditative dream state more and more. And I feel there's an ego battle with that. And I realize with some of the questions I've been asked by you and that, I've been dragged away. And I feel it's like a resistance to actually going there on me, and maybe others are as well. But I've sort of focused in on that, and that's why I've actually asked this question. But you actually mentioned June 21 and 22 as this dream time is really becoming very powerful in a lot of people.
Yep.
And you mentioned about how we can sort of in our dream time heal ourselves from injuries and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to expand a bit more on that, just to share for the people that are probably listening?
Sure. As we go from galactic spring to physical spring to galactic summer, because right now our seasons are matching the seasons of the stars. And this is why 2012, 2013, 2014 are so important. The seasons are unified on the micro and the macro level. Before December 21st, 2012, we were a completely separated Dreamtime society on a global level. We haven't dreamed as a unified society of cultures in 20-some thousand years. The 21st of December signified the first spark where the consciousness explorers of the world, the lower percentage of them, were able to dream together. And that created what's called a steam valve, where fire energy and water energy were able to be spread between the ethers of all those that were part of the network of the dreaming earth. The dreaming earth is separated in the 3D dreaming mind we function in. And as you get further into the concepts of what your dreams are, you realize there's many networks of dreams. And the process of awakening is where we as a global culture unify our Dreamtime societies, unify our Dreamtime worlds in such a way that we can come together in dreams and begin to heal ourselves, as well as to predict what's going on. We're at the state where we can heal ourselves in our dreams completely, because in the dreams there's no time. So the process of healing can take months in the dream world, but only seconds in the awake world. And what I've talked about before, as we come closer and closer to galactic summer, galactic spring, the consciousness explorers out there like you, me, and some of the other callers are going to expand our dream worlds and share the infinite energies that we have, so things happen in their dreams that they can no longer deny. They're going to wake up and they had this strange dream that's just been, inkling them and making them itch at their brain over and over again until finally they share it with someone, and someone says, "Oh my God, my daughter had the same dream. You should talk to her." And then suddenly there's a sharing energy. On another level, as galactic summer fully comes into swing, those true people that are connected to their dream times will begin to encounter, in their dreams, car accidents or weddings, and these are the dreams of other people in their soul family living on Earth, and they're beginning to share that energy in a circle of trust that's created by the Earth Mother itself, acting as the new medium of Dreamtime. So the separated world of Dreamtime of domination and control is let to the wayside.
Yeah, so it sounds like the beginnings of sort of telepathy. Would that be sort of an accurate way of putting it?
On a Dreamtime level, yes.
Yeah. Interesting. I've always felt that was our path, how it would come about. I mean, you know, it's obviously a bit of the detail. But you also mentioned how soul groups connect to external sort of races and the internal earth as well.
Yes. We have a hollow Earth, and it's not literally hollow. What it is there's the space in between atoms and molecules is quite large. And when you understand there's the macro us and the micro inside, in between the spaces of layers of rocks are whole realms of worlds. And that's the term hollow Earth. Inside the hollow Earth, the majority of the soul mothers, soul fathers, clan leaders, soul group overminds come and live inside Earth, close to Earth's heart and energies, so they can be a productive force for spiritual change for the people on the surface, because they live inside the Earth and contain a natural zone of trust. So when you begin to work with them on a soul guide or Dreamtime level, you come with this initial layer of trust that allows you to go into a much higher vibration, so you can share the wisdom of the soul guide with others. You know, it's the place the ascended masters go to, but at the same time, they have rules that they can't function up here unless you're a part of their soul group. So the rules are very specific here. So when something from Hollow Earth is trying to communicate to you, it's doing it because it's following the rules. And the rules are about you're part of the DNA lineage that's attached to a soul family or a set of soul clans. And when you begin to dream with soul clans on a bigger level, that's when you're drawn into different council-type environments where there's many people in your dream sharing thoughts and concepts about change or healing.
Yeah, very interesting. It sounds like we're not even, maybe 2 or 3% at the power of the dreams at the moment, collectively.
It's closer to 13 or 14%.
Okay, that's good to know.
And honestly, this entire world can change at 15, even 20% of the total population being awake to their dreams. Few of us can change the whole, because what we'll understand is the few that's in control, the 1%, is nothing. Is nothing, even with their technology.
And they're using fear as well, right? Over love, which is obviously subservient. So
less than 1% versus 15% with the unlimited Dreamtime Societies connected to them. We win. And that's why this domination and control is so in your face everywhere you go, because they don't want you to be aware of the unseen worlds of dreams. The hollow earth inside, the North Pole or the South Pole, the astral realm. They don't want you to be aware of those concepts, because a Joe Schmo from nowhere can learn the basics of dream time and awake time and all of a sudden reclaim their power, and then that person is completely free of them.
Yeah, and it all goes back in the self and releasing your traumas and going as strong individually as you can, rather than projecting your stuff externally, which has been a theme of many of your callers tonight. Or this morning. So have you got another caller?
No. Sometimes they call in and they drop right away. It's something with Skype for some reason.
Yeah. So I'll need to absorb that myself, obviously. And I do have another question on a bit of a tangent of theme. In another, I think it's in the same interview, you sort of mentioned the inner and the hollow earth are like a giant spherical tuning fork related to the Prime Creator sort of coming and doing an audit. Is that sort of a catalyst for this dream state also, or is that something separate?
That's actually a catalyst for the dream state. March the 20th to the 22nd, the audit was complete, and that is when Prime Creator came to this world through through the central sun, and it began auditing every spiritual contract from the top spirit to the bottom spirit, from the ant to the highest ascended master. And it did a network analysis on every contract and determined that the people that were given the purpose for this world weren't following their rules, and that they had completely failed on everything that they were doing, and they have been notified that they're being removed one by one until this world goes through the change.